So welcome back, guys. So far so good. We've done the add part. The only thing left now is to just display those results that we get from our database, and this is actually very simple to do. So let's just go ahead and see how we can actually display all those results. So let's close everything and go back search component, and right here we need to create a new div. We need to create a new div that will actually hold everything. So let's go ahead and say div, and this will be class, and right here we're going to give this a margin top of 5. Okay, and the next thing we need to do is create a condition. Okay, we need to create a condition that if show is true. Okay, so let's create a new variable right here, and let's just say show. Okay, so show by default is going to be false because we don't want to actually show this. We don't want to actually show this div at the start of the page. We only want to show this div if we have a search result. So this will be show, and this is going to be false. So right here, once we have a search result, once we get a search result, we actually want this show. Okay, this show to be probably we actually want it to be true. So this dot show, this will be true. So once we get a result, the show will be true. Okay, probably you might want to have some kind of loading effect. Probably when the user is typing, you might want to have a loading effect. So to actually do that, actually very simple too. So you can just have a div. Okay, you can just have a div, and right here we're going to have the div, and we can just say empty 5. Okay, and right here we can just close this, and right here we can just say probably let's have a simple test, and let's just have a class. Okay, and the class will be test center because we actually want to centralize the test. And right here, let's just have a simple test indicating probably loading. So probably we're going to say getting results. Okay, and let's just have these 3 dots right there. Then we will actually want to set this to only show if probably something is actually happening. So if probably loading is true, so if loading is true, okay, we actually want to show this. So let's just go ahead and say probably loading will actually be set to false on the initial state. So loading will be false. So when we actually run this query, loading will actually is actually going to be true. So when we're actually going to start this loading this, so this will be this loading, and this will be true. And once we actually get the request, okay, once we get a valid result, loading will be set to false. Okay, loading will be set to false. Then then if we encounter any errors while sending this promised request, so we actually, this is just going to be error. Okay, so we're going to be using the arrow function, reset all this parameter. Okay, so we need to reset all this parameter, and we can just do a console dot log, okay, on the error. Okay, so probably we have a network error, or we have an error with our API. Then we can just do a console.log error. But when you're doing this for production, you don't actually need to console.log this. Okay, so this will be loading will actually be set to false. So this will be loading. Okay, so right here loading will be set to false. So loading will be set to false, and show will be set to false. Yeah, so all those uh all those value will actually be reset to false. Okay, reset to their initial state right there if we get any error. Okay, so this is all we need to do. So right here, if show is true, Okay, if show is true, that means we actually get a valid result. Then we want to show this div right there, and the div is just going to capture all our results and actually show them to our users. Okay, so if show is true, then if show is not true, we can just display say class, and right here we can just do an very simple class. You can say alert info. Okay, so right here we can now say this should be m3. Okay, and right here we can now do probably we can do start typing to search. Okay, very simple. And right here we can now do, because we have an if right here, we can do an s right here. So this will be vs. Okay, so probably this is all we need to do, and let's just go ahead and refresh. So you can see that start typing right there, and if we should do this, and you can see the loading effects right there. Okay, so probably this makes sense. You can see the loading effects. Yeah, so you can do better designs than this is just to show you guys. Then we actually want to show the results right there. We actually want to show the results right there, so we can just do probably two results found search results for this, three search results for this, and this just to show the total number of results gotten. So to actually do that, we can put this within our div. We can put this within our div. So basically, this is just basic HTML. So we can put this within our div, and right here we can now say this should be. We can now say this should be probably count. Okay, because we actually have something called count right here in our data. So this counts. So if we should go ahead and refresh, so if we should try this now and click enter, so it's 0 results found. Click enter, 18 results found. You can see how easy it is. 0 results found, 0 results found, 0 results found, 3 results found. So let's just go ahead and show those results. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to actually show those results. Okay, and we're going to be using a loop to actually show this. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do this. So right here we need to create a new div, and we're going to say class, and this will be mt3. So this is just margin top. So right here we need to create a for loop. Okay, this is just going to be a for loop. Okay, so right here we're going to say v4. Okay, and right here we need to loop through the results. Okay, so this will be results, and right here we need to give an index for this to actually track each of the item in the array. Okay, in the collection. So this will be results. Okay, then we need to actually give this a key. Okay, so let's say key is equal to probably results dot id. Okay, probably let's use type as key. So result dot type, and basically this is all we need to do. And right here we need to actually do an h4 right here. So let's do an h4, and right here we need to say give this a class, and the class will be result type. So we're going to style this later. Style this later, and this will be the index. Okay, this will be the index. We're actually having an error right here. Say index is defined but never used. So we've used it now, so let's just go ahead. um let's see, that's all we need to do. And if we should refresh right now, so let's see this. So you can see the index for all of this right there. Okay, you can see the index for all of this right there. Okay, so these are the index which the result is gotten from. So if we should do something like this, no result, probably, so we got a result from the store and the product. So the next thing we need to actually go on is to actually show those results. Okay, so right here, if you should check, so let me just show you guys. If we come to our view developer tool, so you can see we have a the result object right there, which is actually an array. Then within this results, we have the product and the store. This is actually another array. That means we can perform another loop on this, right? So let's just go ahead and perform the loop. So right here we need to have a list, okay, because we actually want to list our stuffs. So we're going to say an order list, okay, and this right here will be probably, let's perform our loop right here. Okay, this will be v4 just like we did initially, and right here will be item in results. Okay, item in result, which is this result right there, this result right here. So we're looping within the arrays in this result. Okay, hopefully this makes sense to you. And right here we can now give this a key so that we can track each of the items within that result. Okay, so this will be item dot id. So hopefully this makes sense to you. So I think this is giving us some kind of okay, that's we don't actually have any errors in that. And right now we need to have our list. we need to actually we need to actually have our list right here. Okay, so this will be for us slash list. So within our list we actually want to show all the results. Okay, so to use this we're going to be using the media that Laravel provides. So to do this we're going to just be using the media class. So right here we're just going to say div, and this class will be media. Okay, so yeah, this is all we need to do. And right now what we need to do again is to actually have a div, and this will be class. So this will be media right here, and this will be media left. So left will actually show the images, because if you remember in our database right there, for our, we have some images, probably some product image or store image, and we're using uh, a some dummy datas. We're using some dummy datas for this. So we're actually going to actually show those images right now. So we don't need a if. So right here we're just going to say div, and right here we're going to say we're going to give the image. Okay, so this will be image and source, because this data is coming from our operation. So this will be we're going to bind this, and this will be image dot searchable. Okay, because if you should check view, let's see our view. So right here in the results, in the product we have object, and right here we have the searchable object. Okay, this is the searchable object, and this contains all our data. You can see the image right there. So we need to go into this object, then go into the image right there. Okay, hopefully this makes sense to you. So let's just go ahead and do that, and this will be dot this will be dot avatar. So right here, if you should check, we have this is actually image, not avatar. So we used image. Let me see, for store we used image again. So this will be dot image. Okay, and we just need to close this right there. Okay, this will be slash this, and basically this is all we need to do for the image. And right here, if you come over and refresh, probably we shouldn't run into any error. So let's try this again. So this will be W, and you can see those results right there. Okay, those results right there, you can see those results. And the next thing we can now do is to actually output the title and the description. So this will be div, and the class is going to be media body. Okay, media, and this will be body. Okay, so let's close this. And right here, we're going to say probably h5. Okay, and let's close this h5. And right here, let's give this a class, and this will be media. Let's say media heading. And right here, let's just display the test, the searchable test. Okay, so this will be item dot searchable dot name. Okay, so this will be the result name, which is name for this. And the next thing we need to do is do some kind of paragraph for the description. So let's just go ahead. Let's just go ahead and do the this. So this will be item dot searchable dot description. Okay, so basically this is all we need to do. And if we should come over and refresh right now, and let's see that again. So let's just go ahead and see that. So let's search now, and let's press enter. So you can see the title, and you can see the description right there. So let's see why the images are not showing. We have the uh, source correctly. So let's just see this. Okay, the images are not showing now, so you can see the result we get from this. So the next thing we need to do is just to style this properly. So let's style this properly. For the categories, we don't have images for the categories. We should. You can just add this on your own. So let's just go ahead and style this and actually see how it's going to look after we've actually styled this. Okay, so let's go over to search. So using view also provide us with ability to style our page right there from the page. Okay, so this will actually be scooped. The meaning of this is that all the style we apply here will only be applied to this page. Okay, imagine you have more than just one component, so all the style we actually do here will be applied to just this page. Okay, so the language for this will actually be SCSS. Okay, so let's just go ahead and define some basic. So this will be search type. So if you actually notice, we have a div with the class of search type. Okay, so you can see that right there. This is search type. Okay, so we need to actually style this again. So let's just give this a very simple style, and this will be font size. Let's define the font size for this, and this will be 16 pixels. And the next thing we need to do is define the font weight. Okay, this will be font weight, and let's just get the spelling correct. And the font weight will be 600. Okay, that's all we need to do for that. And the next thing is we need to define our media. Okay, right now, because we're using SCSS, we can actually do something like this, and we can have the media. Okay, the media, and this will be left. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to actually give this imagine right. Okay, this will be margin right of about probably um 10 pixels. Okay, that's all for that. Then the images within that um div, so we need to actually define an height for those images. So the height will be 100 pixels, and the weight too will be 100 pieces. So let's just define the weight. Let's get the spelling correct, and this will be 100 pieces. And the next thing we need to define right now is the media body. Okay, so this will be media and this will be body. And the next thing we need to actually do is h5. Okay, because we actually have an h5 right there. So this will be h5. What is it? H5. This is the h5. Okay, with a class of media heading. So we need to actually define these two. So this we have a font size of about 15 pixels, and the font weight, so this will be font weight will be 600, because we want it to be thick. We want it to be thick. And the next thing we need to do is the paragraph. Okay, so let's just go ahead and define a paragraph, and this will be margin bottom, and this will be probably 0 pieces. Okay, this will be 0 pieces. And basically the next thing we need to define is our ordered list. Okay, and this will be list style. The list style is actually going to be null, because we don't want to we don't want this dot right there. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is the padding. Okay, we need to actually have 0 padding for this, because we don't want it to move too much to the right. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to actually deal with our list within this unordered list. So we're going to have our list right there, and the list, we're going to have a color for the fonts, and the color will be something simple, probably a 4a 4a 4a. Okay, this is actually some looks gray. It's actually a gray color. So the font weight will actually be normal. Okay, so the next thing we need to define is the line height. So let's just go ahead and define the line height. So this will be height, this will be about 30 pixels. So let's say 30 pixels. And the font size, okay, the font size will be about 10 pixels. And the cursor type, okay, the cursor type will be a pointer, so this will be pointer. Okay, now that we're done with that, so once there is an over, once the user um, place the cursor over the list, we want to change the cursor, probably change the background, or give it a background, a box shadow. So let's just give it a box shadow. So this will be box, and this will be shadow. Okay, so let's just get the spelling correct. So this will be box shadow, and right here we're going to have one on each side, and the spread will be 40, and we're going to give this a very simple color, just like a4 4a 4. This is actually ash So 4a, 4a, 4, this will be 4a and this will be 5a. Okay, simple as it is. Then we need to have some yeah, this is all we need to do. And right now, if we should go ahead and refresh our page, and let's see how it looks now. So let's just refresh this, and let's say okay, this looks better right now. It looks better right now. So you can see the results. This looks better right now. And we have just one result for this. We have this. So probably for the media, let's just add some padding to this. So the media, let's just add padding. So we can just do this using the bootstrap. So media, let's just give this a padding of about, let's say 3. So let's give this a padding of about 3. So p will be 3, and if we should refresh, so let's do this again. No results. Yeah, so it looks okay, probably. um okay, looks okay. Let's just wait for the images to load. The images are not loading, so let me try this, probably due to the network. So let me try this again. Yeah, so we have the images right there. So you can see the padding out. It looks better now. So categories doesn't have image, so let's just give this a condition that this should show categories image. Okay, so right here on the this left, and let's just give a v if. Okay, so let's just give a condition, and condition will be if item dot type, okay, is not equal to categories. So if the item type is not equal to categories, then show the image. But if it's equal to categories, don't show image. Okay, this is all we need to do. And if we should come over and refresh now, and let's do w, and you can see we don't have uh, image for categories, but we have image for store and products. Okay, so the next thing we can actually do now is once you click on this, it should take you to the category, or it should take you to the product or store. So let's just come over here and define, probably define a anchor tag. So right here we're going to have h, and this is going to be a data from our operation, and right here we're going to say item dot url. Okay, so if you remember, we have the url from when we're preparing our models. So right here we need to actually use forward slash this, and this is just all we need to do. And right now, if we should go ahead and refresh, so let's do this again. So you can see this has been linked. Now we have the this actually store slash id, so this category slash id, but this doesn't look okay because the tests are being underlined. So let's just go ahead and give the link some styles. So this is just going to be a very simple style. So let's just go ahead and say this is actually within the another tag. So right here we're going to say list, and right here we're going to say color. So this should inherit the parent color, so this will be inherit. Okay, and the next thing we need to do is so when you when you put your mouse over the link, so this will be forward slash over, so this will be colon over. Okay, and this the text decoration. Okay, this will be text decoration is just going to be set to null. Okay, this will be null, and let's just make this important. Okay, important. And basically this is all we need to do. So if we should refresh now and try this again, no results, and try this again. Yeah, so you can see this. Let's just refresh. Probably due to network the images are not showing, so let's try this again. Yeah, you can see that right now, and this worked perfectly. So probably let's just take this name, lost scene. Let's just try lost scene. Yeah, so we have just one result for this, and let's just try law, just one result, and let's try LA. We're just going to have a lot of results for this because it's a single word. We have it's one results, so you can see those results right there. Basically this is how you can work with searching multiple queries, advanced queries, searching multiple modules, and actually working with them. So this will be the end for this series. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel